My creativity doesn't collapse because I'm inconsistent. My creativity collapses because I second guess myself. Today, we're going to be talking about the creative mood swing that happens when your confidence drops and how building trust in your work steadies the whole system. Hello, my beautiful entrepreneurs. My name is Tabitha Bear, and this is A Hot Mess Builds an Empire. I let you know at the beginning of every episode that I have absolutely no idea what it is that I am doing, but I'm doing it with the energy of someone who is tripped and is making a career out of the fall. Let's talk about that creative mood swing that we all get hit with. And I truly believe that the creative mood swing happens when we start to doubt our work. We doubt ourselves and we go from fantastically inspired and motivated and ready to go at 8 a.m. And then 12 p.m. hits and suddenly we're not feeling it anymore. What happened in those 4 hours that we're suddenly just not feeling creative anymore? And I'm not talking about burnout. I'm not talking about needing a break. I'm talking about the creativity aspect where you're just kind of like, meh, what happened? I have found in my experience as a creative entrepreneur that my creative mood swing is just a really big red flag that I do not have a good relationship with my work. And we're here to be open about that and maybe work through it a little bit. There's kind of 3 phases to the creative mood swing. I think it starts with pride. You're so excited, you're really happy with what you're making. You think it's going to be the next best thing. And then you kind of go into doubt. Does this make sense? Is this something I should be selling? Is this something I should be creating? And does it even look good? Are people even going to buy it? You let that doubt sink in a little bit, and then the crash comes. Your creativity turns off because you stopped trusting yourself for a minute. You stopped trusting your work. And the creativity was just kind of like, you know what? Let's protect this space for a minute, and it backs off. Your creativity depends on internal safety. Is it safe to experiment, safe to create, safe to explore new ideas, safe to create something without judgment or making it imperfect on the first round? And then self-doubt kicks in. Don't share this. Don't show this. What if this is wrong? Wrong, right? Like, I think that's the one that hits me the most is when I talk about entrepreneurship and like we're all winging it. It's always interesting to see that there's supposed to be a correct answer and a wrong answer. And sometimes we let those self-doubt moments kick in when we think we're doing something wrong. And creativity shuts down because it doesn't feel safe anymore. I think it's important to note that your creativity isn't flaky. Your self-trust is fragile. And that could be little things too. Like it doesn't have to be these big, obvious thoughts. It could just be something like hating the camera angle, or you go through the process of scripting something, recording something, and you go to edit it and you realize you kind of hate your voice. There are these things that when you start to let those negative things slip in that start to make you question, is this good? Should I continue with this? Should I really do this? What am I even doing with my life? When you start to let those thoughts creep in, it starts to poke holes at everything. And that second guessing causes emotional whiplash. It causes like you to question everything. And that's kind of not a creative mood swing, it's a confidence swing. When your identity as a creative strengthens, you'll find that the creative mood swings are less dramatic, less paralyzing. They're softer and they're shorter. And when you build that self-trust, you'll find that you have more courage, more resilience. There's less perfectionism and more willingness to experiment. Here are 3 things that I have learned to do as a creative entrepreneur. The first, this was hard to master. I'm still working on it, but it's so much better than it was before. And that is learning to love your work even when it's in progress. Gotta love the draft. You have to. Because the thing is that if you look at the draft and you let your perfectionism kick in and the self-doubt kick in, you're not giving it a chance. The first draft is the draft. Let it all get out of your brain onto paper, into a Word document, into an Excel spreadsheet, whatever that looks like for you. But let it start to come together. If you don't see the end result yet, because you haven't created the end result yet, and you're still sitting there saying, hey, this sucks and I don't like it and I don't think anybody's going to buy it and it's wrong, you didn't give it a fair shot. You didn't. Learn to love what you have in progress. The second thing I have learned as a creative entrepreneur is trust your ideas, don't interrogate them. There is nothing that can kill an idea quicker than interrogating it like it's committed a murder. What has it done to you? It just existed. It populated from your brain, and your brain is immediately like, who are you? What are you doing? What do you want? How much are you worth? What is your value? You got to chill. Let the idea become what it is that you think it should become. Don't interrogate it, just let it be. When it gets to the end result, be like, okay, where are we going with this? How can I bring you to your full potential? Ask it more positive questions. Support it, right? This is something that you want to see develop and grow into something special, something that represents you and your company. And I get when you think of it that way, you're just kind of like, oh my God, it's going to represent me and my company. Yes, but learn to love what you have in progress and trust the idea, right? Let it be, let it get to the end result, and then you can start to fine tune what it is that you have going on. And the last thing that I am learning and working on is that confidence is a skill. This takes practice, this takes time. I am not great in front of the camera. I don't feel confident in front of the camera, but with these daily YouTube videos, I'm showing up and I'm making myself practice to be more confident with that. And you have to understand that it's not a personality trait. It's not something you're doing wrong if you don't feel confident about something. It shouldn't be, oh my God, I'm not confident about that, so I'm never going to make it. Like, don't put yourself down. Don't put your idea down. You need to understand that confidence is a skill, and you work on it and you strengthen that skill set. And over time, you become more confident. You gain more self-trust. You trust the ideas, and you learn to love what you have in progress. Here are some actionable takeaways that you can work on, make affirmations, whatever it is, outlooks, opinions, however you want to perceive what it is I'm about to say. But these are the things that I have been using every single day to get myself to a better level of self-trust in my ideas, a better level of confidence in what it is that I'm doing. And first things first, your business depends on you believing in yourself. It does. You have to know that you've got your back. So celebrate those small wins. You learned something new today that you didn't know how to do. You finished something today that you've been working on for 2 weeks. Like, celebrate those wins. Hey, I took a 15-minute break today, and I never do, but I took a break today and I gave myself that break in between 2 tasks. And yeah, celebrate those wins. Celebrate them. You need to tell yourself you're doing a good job. At the end of the day, every day, I give myself a high five. I do. Hey, good job. Even if I feel like the day sucked, you did a good job today. You know why? Because first of all, you showed up. You showed up and you were working on stuff and you were doing things. And even if you didn't finish a task, like even if I didn't finish editing the video for it to be ready to publish, or even if I didn't finish the product that I was working on to upload to my Stand store, I still worked on it. I still showed up, and I still plan on completing that task the next day, or I still plan on following through with it. And That's really important because when you congratulate yourself on a job well done, you want to show up to work the next day. If your boss at your full time traditional job right now never told you good job, wouldn't that suck? Like, hey, I showed up today. I thought I did good today. I worked really hard. I did some things. I typed in some numbers. I used the Excel spreadsheets. I uploaded stuff. I informed people. I went to my meetings. And if no one says to you, hey, thank you so much, you did a great job today, it sucks. It sucks to not hear it. So why would you do that to yourself? Tell yourself you're doing a good job. I started to create a skill set list. I didn't go as far as to say like this is intermediate or advanced or novice. Like I didn't want to judge because my perception is probably more subjective because I'm harder on myself about those things, right? Like I could be better at this, but I'm not. So I'm going to put myself as like a beginner, a novice, whatever. Don't do that. Write a skill set down, like a skill set list down of what it is that you know how to do. I know how to use Canva. I know how to use Instagram. I know how to use Premiere Pro. I know how to upload to YouTube. Write down these skills that you have and celebrate that. And if there are things that you feel like you need to learn, put that in a separate column. Work on one thing at a time. I want to be more confident in front of the camera. I want to story tell better. I want to script write better. You know, there are so many ways that you can get better at certain skill sets that don't involve bringing yourself down. So you don't know everything. Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody knows everything. So celebrate what you do know and then make goals to learn more what you don't. Here are two things that I do that I'm working on. These are kind of like my two biggest things I'm working on. The first is allow yourself to be creative without demanding productivity. Some days you just need to let the crazy out, right? You just need blank pieces of paper, a pen, and just hours of time and just let the crazy out. Here's this brainstorming session. Here's the spider web of how everything's interconnected. Here's what I want it to look like. Here's what it might look like. Here's like strategic breakdowns of my ebook, whatever it is that you're working on. Don't demand productivity from yourself when you just need to let the idea out. You do not need same day ideas and execution and posting to sell something. The only person who's demanding that productivity of you is you. So cut yourself some slack every once in a while. If you consider yourself a creative entrepreneur, creative is the first word in that. Let yourself be creative. The second thing is don't delete things when you're frustrated or tired. I have deleted many a thing out of frustration. I've deleted many a thing out of self-doubt, out of being tired. Don't do that to yourself. Don't. What I started to do is when I get frustrated, I walk away. I got to walk away. Maybe I'm done for the day. Hey, good job. You're done today. Whoop, you did it. And other times it's, you got to pinpoint why you're frustrated. Are you frustrated with your skill set? Like, do you not know how to do something? And you're like, for me, starting this YouTube channel was very frustrating. I Googled and YouTubed a lot of tutorials on why my videos were taking 31 hours to upload and why they weren't exporting. For some godforsaken reason, I just kept getting error message after error message. I learned all these things, right? And it was really frustrating. And I almost walked away from doing this at all. But I just walked away for an hour, came back. All right, let's try Googling this error message again. Let's try Googling what it is that I'm trying to do again. Reaching out to some video editor friends like, hey, I keep getting this error message. Does anybody know what this means? Regroup. And if it's not for today, then it's not for today. But don't delete anything out of anger or frustration. Delete things that you literally don't need or you have copies of or better versions of or whatever it is. But delete it when you're in sound mind. Your creativity isn't moody or flaky, like I said before, but it is sensitive. Creativity is a sensitive little gal, so be nice to her, help her flourish. She's giving you raw goods, right? Here's this amazing idea, let's do something with it. And you go, yeah, but why? How much is it worth? What am I doing with that? Where can I put that? And then creativity's like, fine, then I won't. I won't give it to you if you're going to be a dick. So you got to be encouraging. You got to encourage yourself. You got to encourage your creativity. You have to be supportive. You know, we have so many friends who are supportive of us and see amazing things from their perspective about us, and we don't do that for ourselves. That's the same thing as telling yourself you've done a good job for the day. Like, be supportive. You want supportive people in your workplace, right? At a traditional job, you want supportive managers, supportive HR, supportive like peers, whatever that looks like, right? Like you want people to help support you, help you develop, help you grow. Why wouldn't you do that for yourself? Be supportive of your creativity. Be supportive of the ideas that you are thinking of. They're unique to you. That's what makes you so great and special, is like you have these amazing ideas that nobody has thought of, or perspectives that nobody has, because there's only you. You're the only you in the world, right? So be supportive of that. So it's so strange, especially because of starting this YouTube channel and learning so much and putting myself out in an uncomfortable situation like this. Putting myself on YouTube makes me very uncomfortable, but it's because I want to get good at it. I want to get good at experiencing YouTube. I want to get good at my confidence being in front of the camera. And that will come from continuing to practice what it is that I practice, in telling myself I'm doing a good job today, letting my creativity flow the way it needs to flow, and being supportive. I am starting to become someone who trusts their creative instincts, and I was always fighting it. Before, it was always like, yeah, but how much do I price that and who do I sell it to? It was very cutthroat, and this is what entrepreneurs do. You make money. And instead of treating myself like a creative entrepreneur, I just thought of it at the end result of entrepreneur. I'm a creative first, creative entrepreneur, right? So I got to trust my instincts. I got to trust my creativity, and I have to support myself. I expect my boss at my traditional full-time job to support me. Yes, it's her job, but I expect her as a human to look out for what's best for me at work. Hey, I noticed this opportunity. I think you'd be good for it. Hey, I noticed you did this and I want to help you get better at that. Whatever it is, right? Like, if you know that that's what your work life is and you expect certain things from your work life, why would you not ingratiate that into your business for yourself? Being your own boss and wearing all these hats, it also means you have to be the supportive person who's developing yourself, right? So look out for you. Look out for your creativity. She is a huge asset to the team. Huge asset to the team. Support her. Don't question her. Don't chase her around. Let her lead you. Trust me, it'll be so much different. Every day I am learning to treat my brain like a creative teammate, and every day my empire thanks me for it. For today's call to action, I would love to know, what are the confidences you use to pull yourself out of those moments, to tell yourself you're doing a good job, celebrating small wins? What are the things that you have learned on how to better treat and support yourself in a positive way with running your own business? Because I think it would be helpful for me to know, and there are things that I can learn all the time. But for other people out there, I think it would be helpful for them to know what else others are working on with their businesses. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please like this video and subscribe to A Hot Mess Builds an Empire. And I will see you tomorrow.